Guido van Rossum is one of the most unknown heroes of software technology. I'm sure many of you know him, but some of you don't. And for those of you who don't, we're going to take a look at a brief life history of Guido van Rossum. Yes, the man who invented Python programming language. And let's just say that language has changed how the earth is today. You find out you can do so many things with Python. So let's get into a deep dive. Before that, I'm to just ask you guys to please subscribe to the video, like and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss when I upload a video. Because if you want to see JavaScript, let's reach 100 likes, and I will do one for the JavaScript creator. So let's jump into it. Guido van Rossum is from the Netherlands, so obviously he's a Dutch programmer best known as the creator of Python, for which he was known as the benevolent dictator of life. This is actually a title given to him, a position, but he stepped down from the position in July 2018. He was born and raised in the Netherlands, where he received a master's degree in mathematics and computer science from the University of Amsterdam in 1982. He received a bronze medal in 1974 in the International Mathematics Olympiad. I think at this point we realize that the man is a very intelligent man, and it doesn't take too long before at this point you know that he's going to achieve something great. But let's continue. He lives in Belmont in California in the USA with Kim Knapp, his wife, and their only son. Now let's get into his work history. Now you see, while working at the Centrum Wiskunde and Information, which is the CIM, which is the National Research Institute for Mathematics and Computer Science in the Netherlands. For those of you who don't know, I think it's pronounced Centrum Wiskunde and Informatica. Okay, not so sure I'm good at pronouncing that. Okay, Van Rossum wrote and contributed a globe routine to BSD Unix in 1986 and helped develop the ABC programming language. You see from here is already stepping into programming language creation, and that's for you to know that one of the first programming languages he was involved in was not the Python programming language. It was actually the ABC programming language, which, yeah, let's say nobody knows about that now. But yeah, everyone starts from somewhere. He also created Grail, an early web browser written in Python, and he also engaged in discussions about the HTML standard. The Grail web browser, which, let's say, that's almost 40 years ago, more than 30 years ago. You don't expect such a browser. Maybe he didn't develop it more. That's why we're not seeing it now. But there was a web browser. He built it Python long, long ago. He has worked for various research institutes like the Centrum Wiskunde Informatica, like I've mentioned earlier in the video just now, which is the National Research Institute for Mathematics and Computer Science in the Netherlands. He also worked for the National Institute of Standards and Technology. He also worked for the CNRI, which is the Corporation for National Research Initiatives. In May 2000, he left CNRI along with 3 other core Python developers to work for tech startup beopen.com, which unfortunately collapsed by October of the same year. Yeah, we have rough parts along the road to destiny, along the road to victory, and this was just unfortunate. But you pick up yourself and don't let defeats get you. And from 2000 until 2003, he worked for Zope Corporation. And in 2003, Van Rossum left Zope for elementary security, while he worked on a custom programming language for the organization. You'll see that he works for a lot of companies here for Zope, or Yes, I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. And for elementary security, couldn't get to grab much information on those two because, they're old, really old. But if you do want more information on that, just hit it in the comments and I promise I will get it for you. And in 2005 to 2012, he worked at Google where he spent half of his time developing and building the Python programming language. Of course, we all know it was before now that he actually he started working on the programming language, but every programming language has its peak. It was at this point that Python probably started becoming more popular. In the 90s, early 2000s, it was like this normal average programming language, but when he was at Google, he really focused his mind on building this thing. Let me build this programming language. And at this point, I want to say that one thing we can learn from here is that this man had no problem working for others and working with others. You see, I've mentioned almost 10 companies now, and there's still two more companies I'm about to mention that he did work for. You see that he has no problem working with people, working for people. That means as a Python, not just as a Python programmer, but as a software developer, a web developer, someone stepping into the software world, you're going to meet a lot of people, even as a freelancer. A freelancer isn't just one man who does all his work by himself. You're going to need other people, definitely. No one is an island. You're definitely going to need other people. So that's one habit you need to learn. You might not work for all these companies, these tens and twelves of companies, but you're definitely going to be interacting with a lot of people. So one thing you should bear in mind is that this man who built this programming language, you probably know, worked had no issues working for a lot of people. At least that's what we can decode from all his jobs. And on 7th December 2012, he left Google. And in January 2013, he started working out with, the cloud file storage company Dropbox. And in October 2019, which was like 6 years after, he left Dropbox and officially retired. But wait. On 12th November 2020, he announced he was coming out of retirement. Wow. To join the developer division at Microsoft. He holds the title Distinguished Engineer at Microsoft. You see, the man is never tired of working. You should never be tired of working, never be tired of learning, never be tired of stepping out of your comfort zone. As at October 2019, this man he definitely did not come out of retirement because he had no money. It's estimated he has a net worth around $1.5 million. I'm not sure, but I think it should be more than that. This is the Python developers, guys. So, one thing we should learn is that this man was not afraid to step out of his comfort zone and work more and more. And that's one thing I should advise us to learn. Thank you for watching. And I hope you like this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.